Hello and welcome to Tech Week in View on Megawatt TV, where each week we take the biggest stories from the tech world, chew them up, spit them out and tell you what we think. Stay tuned. So Google have finally announced what most of us were probably expecting was going to happen for a long time, that they're going to get into the operating system game. Now, for anybody that's followed Google for the last couple of years, you'll see that that's probably quite a logical step. After all, they've got Google Maps, they've got Google Earth, they've got Google Apps, they've got Google Mail, they've got, well, pretty much every application you can think of that's web enabled, they already have it. So having an operating system for it all to run on just, well, seems to make sense. But who's going to benefit? Who's going to be, at a disadvantage? Well, lots of people come out this week and said, well, oh my God, it's the end of Microsoft as we know it. The software giant who leads the pack with the operating system is, well, just going to be, it's a thunderbolt from the sky, as one blog said. They're not going to be around much longer, are they? And then obviously, well, nobody thought about Apple being affected because, hey, the fanboys will protect them. And what about Linux? I mean, they've been pushing the open source stuff for a long time. What's interesting is that I think that Linux, Windows 7, Snow Leopard from Apple are all incredibly vast, well-polished machines that, well, Google Chrome OS is just not really going to have a touch on for the first couple of years. I mean, let's look at the mobile phone platform, Android. That's been around for, what, 2 years now? And has that got exciting? No. Has it even attempted to get exciting? Well, kind of, but then it's taken HTC to make that exciting rather than actually Google doing anything, because the Android OS doesn't look that great. So, should they be worried? Well, maybe in 5 or 10 years, Google Chrome OS will be this powerhouse of an internet device. That's 5, 10 years. A lot can happen in there. And maybe we'll have another operating system coming out of nowhere that just, well, will change everything. It's early days, it's early building blocks, but maybe one day Google Chrome will become the skyscraper that we all want it to be. But for this Christmas, I very much doubt it. So we brought you news months ago that the Palm Pre was going to be coming to the UK, and guess what? This week we found out, we didn't find out when it was going to be, I'm afraid, but we did find out who it's going to be on, and that's O2. Yes, they've managed to bag the second most anticipated smartphone of 2009 for the UK market, and it's an exclusive deal, meaning that if you're an iPhone customer up for renewal, guess what? You can switch out, grab a QWERTY keyboard, and enjoy multitasking once and for all. Interestingly though, like a cheap whore, Palm and O2 in the UK decided to, well, just not really give us any information. Lots of questions we asked at the briefing, like tethering, like price, like prepay, like when, like how, like who, like what. All we got was that it's coming to O2, be the same phone, obviously a HSDPA variant of the one that's available already in the US. And oh yeah, by then you should be able to get a few more apps than you can now. Disappointing, but until then you'll have to wait for that pleasure moment to come later, sometime before the holiday season. So some data slipped out this week from Ofcom, whether on purpose or accidentally, or maybe accidentally on purpose, about 3G coverage in the UK. And so who does the best? Well, not surprisingly, Three, the only mobile operator that supports 3G purely, remember they don't have a 2G network, comes out best with a good coverage across the UK. Interestingly, Orange also comes out with some really good coverage stats, something along the lines of 93% of the population. It will certainly be helpful for TG01 customers from Toshiba and even the HTC Hero customers when they get the phones later in the year looking to surf the web. Disappointingly, T-Mobile, O2 and Vodafone all don't do that well, with main focus being in the cities and everybody else, well, not really getting anything. What's worrying for O2 customers, especially those iPhone users and of course the Palm Pre users when that comes out later in the year following the exclusive announcement this week, is that it seems if you want to surf the web on those phones, you might be struggling. So this week in the US, something geeky quite happened with time. Yes, I know I probably shouldn't admit that I was excited, but it was pretty cool. What was it, I hear you ask? Well, it was the concept of using all the numbers in the time at a specific point. It only happens once a century, and so you have to get ready, have to get excited. Now, there was no flash mobs to outside Grand Union Station to witness the time moving through. So let's tell you what it is. Basically, it's 12:34:56 on the 8th of July 2009. So that's 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 07, 08, 09. Brilliant. And I suddenly thought, well, that's great, but surely there must be another opportunity. There must be some other time in the century that I can use this date to get excited. And then I suddenly realized the Americans, they switch the month and the day round, don't they? So, 9/11, for example, so it's the month first and then the day. So that means back in the UK, guess what? We haven't missed it. Brilliant. So it would be 12:34:56, it's the time, on the 7th of August, 2009. It means you've still got plenty of time. You can set your alarms, set your phones, set your calculators even, to wake up, to celebrate, to enjoy the wonderful time phenomenon of using all the numbers in a specific time. We're not just talking about waking up and seeing that it's 03:03 in the middle of the morning and going, oh, that's a funny chuckle. This is even cooler than that. So remember, 12:34:56, 07, 08, 09. Get excited. Well, that's it for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Why don't you tune in next time for more news, reviews, tips, tricks, opinions, and much more. I'm Stuart Miles. This is Megawatt TV. Thanks for watching.